Sunday, November 9, 2025. Our devotional is a perpetual safeguard. Our text is found in Nahum 1 verse 9. Affliction will not rise up a second time. Satan's rebellion was to be a lesson to the universe through all coming ages, a perpetual testimony to the nature and terrible result of sin. The working out of Satan's rule, its effect upon both men and angels, would show what must be the fruit of setting aside the divine authority. It would testify that with the existence of God's government and His law is bound up the well-being of all the creatures He had made. Thus, the history of this terrible experiment of rebellion was to be a perpetual safeguard to all holy intelligences, to prevent them from being deceived into the nature of transgression, to save them from committing sin and suffering its punishments. To the very close of the controversy in heaven, the great usurper continued to justify himself when it was announced that with all his sympathizers he must be expelled from the abodes of blessed. Then the rebel leader boldly avowed his contempt to the Creator's law. He reiterated his claim that the angels needed no control, but should be left to follow their own will, which would ever guide them right. He denounced the divine statutes as a restriction of their liberty and declared that it was his purpose to secure the abolition of law, that freed from this restraint, the host of heaven might enter upon the most exalted, more glorious state of existence. With one accord, Satan and his host threw the blame of their rebellion upon Christ, declaring that if they had not been reproved, they would never have rebelled. Thus, stubborn and defiant in their disloyalty, seeking vainly to overthrow the government of God, yet blasphemously claiming to be themselves the innocent victim of oppressive power, the arch-rebel and all his sympathizers were at last banished from the heaven. The same spirit that prompted rebellion in heaven still inspired rebellion on earth. Satan has continued with human beings the same policy which pursued with the angels. His spirit now reigns in the children of disobedience. Like him, they seek to break down the restraint of the law of God and promise liberty through transgression of its precepts. Reproof of sin still aroused the spirit of hatred and resistance. When God's messengers of warning are brought home to the conscience, Satan leads people to justify themselves and seek the sympathy of others in their course of sin. This is taken from the book of Ellen G. White, Homeward Bound, page 318.